All right, everybody, we got our Boston butts here ready to go. We got our Cosmos dry rub. As you see, I use this a lot. It's very good. The honey chipotle killer bee is my favorite. The flavor is amazing. By far, this and Memphis Dust. Memphis Dust is my other favorite. In fact, quite often you'll actually see me combo these two. I'll do a coat of the Memphis Dust, and now I'll do a coat of the Cosmos honey chipotle killer bee. Absolutely amazing. All right, guys. So it's real simple. Do not be shy about using the rub. Do a healthy coating all around the rub. It's important not to under-season it because there's a lot of meat, so you need the flavors. All right? Let's get that knocked out and let's move on to the next step. All right, guys, now we got our Boston butts here, they're rubbed up, they're ready to rock. Let me be clear about something. You don't want to let these sit 15, 20, 30 minutes before you put them out on the smoker. It's not like you do with chicken or like you do with a steak or anything like that. Get them rubbed, get them out on the smoker. So now they're done, I'm gonna run them out to the smoker right now. I'll see you out there. All right. All right, everybody, now that we got the pork on the smoker, we're gonna put in our thermometers, monitor our temperatures. To be clear about something, there's a lot of different theories on what's best. Hot and fast, low and slow. Me personally, I cook between 250 and 300. I try to keep it around 275 to 300. For me, that works best, especially on this smoker. But, you know, there's a lot of different people who have different opinions about it. So me personally, 250 to 300. That's what I'm gonna cook it at, all right? All right, everybody, now that we got our thermometers in, I have my ThermoPro thermometer out here. This is my personal favorite. I have an old charbroil, which I got when I first started smoking things. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna check them every 45 minutes to an hour. When I check them, I'll spritz them. When I spritz them with a 50% water, a 50% apple cider vinegar mix. Some people can use apple juice, people have their personal taste. I'll also be throwing in a pan full of water here in just a few minutes. I'll show you when I do that, but that's also just to help hold moisture. And by the way, the more moisture you have in here, the less you have to spritz it, and also it helps to keep the temperature a little more even inside the chamber. So it's a really good idea to find a small pan to put water in that you can set in there, that you don't have to worry about burning up, or you're not really worried about turning black, because it's exactly what it's going to do. Anything you put in this smoke chamber is eventually going to stay black. It's just all the smoke and the oil and everything in there. So let's go ahead and get it going. All right, it's been about 45 minutes. Take a quick look at them. Not too bad, not too dry. Just give them a good spritz. Hit all sides. Don't let them get too dry on you. That's about it there. Now, temperature at the grate is about 258. It's not bad. It's I just put another log on the fire, so it's probably going to take a little bit for it to warm up, but it'll get there real quick. Inside of this pork butt here is at 80 degrees, and the inside of the other one is at 91, so the one closest to the firebox. So here in about 45 minutes, I'll swap them out just so that I get an even cook, so one's not cooking too fast, so one doesn't get ready before the other. It's not a big deal. It's a pretty simple switch up. I want to reiterate, all I'm doing with this is a 50-50 mix. I'm doing apple cider vinegar and 50% water. That's it. All right, guys, so apologies for the noise in the back. Sounds like some people are doing some lawn work. Not such a convenient time, but it is what it is. So if you look right here, you will see that I put a water pan in here. If you remember what I told you before, I said don't pick a pan that you're not worried about turning black, because this used to be a silver colored pan and now it is just almost flat black at this point. So be aware that whatever you put on here, it's most certainly not going to stay that color. So pick something you're not worried about or you don't really care about anymore. That'd be my advice to you. So okay, we got our water pan in there. We've been spritzing. All right, we're going to be back in about an hour, 45 minutes, and we will check it again. All right, everybody, it's been a couple hours now. Meat's at about 146. grate's about 255. I had to throw another stick on the fire to pick the temperature back up a little bit. Let's take a look at it. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's got a nice color to it. It's looking good. Still got some water in my pan. I may need to add some here in a little bit. Probably have another hour or two left. I'd say probably 2 hours left on the cook. We'll spritz it real quick. There we go. That's good. So next time you hear from me, we'll be ready to wrap them. All right? Catch you in a bit. All right, everybody. They're ready to go. They look great. Temperature is 165. So all we got to do now is get them in the house, get them wrapped, and get them into the oven for the final stretch. All right. See you on the inside. All right, everybody. We got our butts ready to go. They're ready to be wrapped. We got our dry rub, a 50-50 mix, and some tin foil. I'll explain everything here in just a second. All right, this is pretty simple. So what we're gonna do here is, you can see I put some of my rub down already. We're gonna take some of the 50-50, just throw it down there real quick. All right, and we're going to take our pork butt, we're gonna set it right there in the middle. Now, the next step here, we're just gonna spritz a little bit on the pork butt itself. Again, add just a little more of our seasoning. Now, we're double wrapping. There's a reason for this. The reason we're doing double wrapping is to hold in as much heat as possible. So the more heat that escapes, the slower it'll cook. So instead, we're gonna double wrap it and try to hold in as much heat as possible. Now, some people use butcher paper. I do have the butcher paper. I do brisket with that, and I do ribs with that. With pork butts, I like using the tin foil. It seems to help hold the heat in better, and it seems to help the fat render down a little quicker. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna double wrap it. So here we go. All right, let's get the next one done. And once we've got it done, we'll get them into the oven. All right, so we got them wrapped and ready to go in the oven. So the temperature we're gonna look for is 203 to 205. That's the ideal range temperature we're looking for to get the best flavor out of these and the most tenderness and the most amount of fat rendered down without it starting to get tough. All right, everybody, so this one's done. We're gonna let it rest for about an hour, and then after that, we'll pull it. The other one should finish up in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Once it's done, we'll do the same thing. This is a really important part of the process, is resting it, especially since during the resting time, there's actually fat that is still rendering. So this is a really important part of it being good and tender and juicy. So we're gonna go ahead and wait, and we'll get back together here in a few minutes when it's ready. All right, everybody. So I don't know if you've ever handled one of these yet, but I can tell you it's going to be super hot, so make sure you got some gloves on. I do not have any more latex gloves, and this is going to be kind of messy, so I'll use my barbecue gloves, and then I'll just wash them when we're done. First step, now that you got it out of here, let's get it spun around here. First thing we gotta do is we gotta get this bone out. All right, so separate just a little bit. It should just pull right out. There we go, look at that. Look at how easy it came out. All right, do the same thing with it, and see the steam coming off of it. It gives you an idea how hot it is. So loosen. There it comes clean out. That tells you how tender it is. All right, so now we got that out of there. Let's get to the fun part. Pulling. Now somebody do the claws. I personally, I prefer these. For me, I just get a better grip and I can do it a little quicker. So that. Let's look at that. Get a look at that. Look at the smoke. That dark color on it. Oh yeah. Melt in your mouth. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. Tune in tomorrow to check out the pulled pork tacos. There you go. Take it easy.